Hi guys, this is CJ from the Patriot Nation, and we're going to be discussing today Biden's blunders. That's right, U.S. generals contradicted Joe Biden in his account of the Afghanistan withdrawal. We're also going to talk about NAC and its positive health impacts when people ingest this great substance. Furthermore, the FDA has decided to try to pressure companies such as Amazon and also GNC to not distribute and sell NAC. We're going to talk to you about why that's happening and where you can still find NAC. Join us soon for the Patriot Nation podcast. Hi guys, this is CJ with the Patriot Nation, and we are talking about Biden's blunders. That's right. Today, we have a U.S. Marine who has been jailed after attacking the Pentagon, that is verbally, in a viral video over the Afghanistan debacle and withdrawal. Lieutenant Colonel, let's see who he is, Stu Scheller. He's a U.S. Marine. He's been jailed for attacking the military leadership over America's chaotic withdrawal from Afghanistan in a viral video. I'm reading from the UK Independent, and I looked at some of the American news sources, and I'll be honest with you, they are actually a little bit more docile and seem to be blowing off the concept that this guy had spoke out. Lieutenant Colonel, again, Stuart Schiller, uploaded a video on his Facebook page on August 26, lambasting the U.S. military's decisions when the country was present in Afghanistan and after it pulled out. He's been making regular posts since then, often complaining about being asked not to post. A statement from a spokesperson for the Marine Corps Training and Education Command, quoted by Defense News website Task and Purpose on Monday, confirmed Mr. Scheller is currently in a pretrial confinement. They have put him in, they call it the brig. This is actually, historically speaking, what they used to do when they would have somebody in the military break the law, break the rules, what have you, break the codes and commandments, ethics. And often this was on a ship. It would be a very confined area, not comfortable, like a small jail. Now, they also have this on U.S. military bases as well, and that's probably where he is. But this guy literally is in a military jail. I mean, seriously, it's kind of absurd. I understand he broke protocol, but throw him in jail for that? I think this is much. It slaps of a totalitarianism urge and vibe going on here with the U.S. government in general. The time, date, and location of the proceedings have not been determined. Lieutenant Colonel Scheller will be afforded all due processes, the statement continued. Meanwhile, the Marine's father said in an interview to the news site that his son was just asking for accountability. I think the U.S. public is asking for accountability, and I think a lot of people are frustrated because we are just not getting that. I mean, Sleepy Joe, he goes to a news conference, he makes a statement or two, does not take questions, he's shuffled away, and reporters are left there scratching their heads going, what in the world is going on? Is this guy going to answer up for the decisions he's made? Or are these even decisions that he has made, or are people making the decisions for him? And it's totally understandable to demand some type of transparency. And, if you look at the contrast of President Donald Trump, now, some say we had too much of Trump. I personally think we had just enough. If not, we could have even used more. But that's my personal opinion, of course. Trump basically would field questions over and over again outside of Marine One when he would be transported to and from the White House. He was there to say, look, I am the last word here. I will explain to you guys why we're doing what we're doing, what the approach is, what are some of the options, what is my rationale. And we had a lot of transparency under President Trump, probably more than we've had in many decades in the White House. So this is quite a contrast, and it is a highly crafted message from an administration that has a highly cognitively incompetent leader. His dad goes on to say, all our son did was ask questions that everybody was asking themselves, but they were too scared to speak out loud. Stu Scheller, the Marine's father, senior of the Marine's father, told Task and Purpose he was asking for accountability. I think he even asked for an apology that we made mistakes. but they couldn't do that, which is mind-blowing, the dad goes on to say. He also said his son is now due to appear in a hearing this Thursday. They had a gag order on him and asked him to not speak, the father said. He did, though, and they incarcerated him. They don't know what to do with him, his dad says. In the August 26 video posted by the Marine, it garnered 1 million views and thousands of comments, after which Mr. Skeller posted again saying that he was flooded with friend requests and messages of support from people. That is the reminder that we are going to a break, and we next will talk about what is going on with regards to U.S. generals and how they have contradicted Sleepy Joe Biden's account of the Afghanistan withdrawal. Hi guys, this is CJ and we're back and we're talking about Lieutenant Colonel Stu Skeller, and he has been again jailed or incarcerated because he spoke out in contradiction to the Sleepy Joe Biden's administration to hastily pull our troops out of Afghanistan, and this has caused a whole host of problems. Today, the United States Senate had a number of U.S. generals who actually spoke and testified at the Senate Armed Services Committee. And the headline here reads that Joe Biden lied. President has been blasted after top generals directly contradict what Biden said about Afghanistan. U.S. President Sleepy Joe Biden faced backlash on Tuesday after top U.S. military leaders testifying in front of this Armed Senate Services Committee directly contradicted what Biden told the American public during an interview over the summer amidst the U.S. withdrawal of Afghanistan. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Mark Milley, Mr. Woke himself, and head of the U.S. Central Command, General Kenneth McKenzie, that's Mr. Woke man too, BLM lover himself, gave their testimonies under oath in front of the Senate Armed Services Committee, and they talked about Biden's chaotic pullout from Afghanistan last month. It looks like they probably, I think, threw him under the bus, which I'm laughing about this. This is funny stuff, guys, because Sleepy Joe has been their tool for a while, and when they're done with him, they will discard of him. And that's my opinion, of course. It goes on to say, Biden faced widespread criticism comparing his prior remarks made during an interview back in August with George Stephanopoulos, where his statements contradicted what the generals gave today, statements which appeared directly to, again, contradict what Biden said. Numerous top Republicans online wrote that Biden lied. Biden had the following exchange with Stephanopoulos on August 19th. I'm not going to read through this whole thing, but Biden basically made it sound like the generals did not emphasize that he should leave troops behind. But the generals today said they recommended he leave at least 2,500 troops in Afghanistan, and that pulling out those forces would lead, quote, inevitably to the collapse of the Afghan military forces and eventually the Afghan government. And later, Milley said that he agreed with that assessment. So, pretty interesting, old Sleepy Joe said that the government and the generals were all lined up, but apparently they were not, and Sleepy Joe decided to leave on his own. Quite interesting. I mean, this is what we have here. We've got basically Afghanistan. I mean, we're talking about lives lost. We're talking about equipment turned over, tons of equipment turned over, guns, rocket launchers, Humvees, even high-end military aircraft, drones. We've got helicopters turned over to the Taliban. And the Taliban now has been in talks with U.S. foes such as Russia, such as China, such as Iran, trying to look at this U.S. weaponry, and I'm sure they're very interested in reverse engineering what the United States has done to try to gain an edge, militarily speaking, with regards to our equipment. And this stuff's going to get in the hands of our biggest foes. And this is a typical pattern that happens when left-wing politicians oversee military matters. They regularly underestimate our opponents. They underestimate the enemy, thinking that the enemy is going to be a nice guy at the end of the day, kind of like they underestimate criminals. They do the same thing. This whole matter of concept of defunding the police, think about that concept. It is very much backwards. It is naive, and this same process in their thinking gets repeated when they deal with international politics and geopolitical confrontation with countries such as China, again, Iran, and Russia. So, pretty interesting stuff. Let's go ahead and move on here, and we're going to talk a little bit about what the long-term impact is going to be with regards to this withdrawal. And so when I say long-term impact, it might sound great to some people to say, look, we're out of there. And I agree, it is good we're out of there in terms of having our troops be sitting ducks and what have you. However, we have left what some say is the most advanced air base that we, that is the United States of America, built in Afghanistan, Bagram Air Base. This air base has concrete pads, okay, that are extremely thick. This is something that is extremely stable. It can take large cargo planes, it can take bombers, it can accommodate fighter jets, etc. It is considered to be, again, one of the most expensive and advanced air bases in the world. And the Biden administration decided that we would abandon this air base that we spent millions, probably billions, building. It makes no sense, does it? No, it doesn't. So these are things that can come back and bite us in the behind in the future, because you get a strategic air base like this that is a connection between the Middle East and also in Asia, and you have a situation where, again, our biggest geopolitical opponents can get access to this advanced equipment, advanced technologies, advanced base, and use it literally against us. The same thing happened with Bill Clinton when he basically said, oh, the Cold War's over, and we're going to go ahead and share ballistic missile technology with the Chicoms, okay, the Chinese Communist Party, and because we're going to work on a joint venture to launch satellites up into space. Well, the same technology that can launch satellites also can launch intercontinental ballistic missiles. And of course, the Chinese were playing chess and Sleepy Joe, almost called him Sleepy Joe, but Slick Willie was playing checkers. And he again underestimated the tenacity and the intention and the deception of these communist leaders. And as a result, China has made tremendous gains and closed the gap tremendously with the United States in regards to ballistic missile technology. Same concept. Again, it's underestimating our opponents. It's underestimating our enemies. And as a result, it's going to cost us more money in the long run. This is quite unfortunate, and I consider it to be a mismanagement and an act of incompetence on the part of the Biden administration. And you don't have to go too far to see how incompetent that man is. I mean, the guy can hardly have a conversation with a reporter. The guy is, he's stumbling just to get into the White House. They have to guide him here, guide him there. Sir, the door's here. Sir, it's over here, sir. And he's walking around the back of the White House. He doesn't know what he's doing. His wife starts speaking on a stage, and he starts wandering around the back. She says, Joe, pay attention, pay attention. And so he's the butt of the joke, even within the Biden family. And we're supposed to believe that this guy is running our country solidly and thoroughly. And I don't think we can do that, of course, unless you're brain dead or unless you are very misled. Okay, guys, we're going to wrap up this segment. And next, we're going to go on to health and wellness. And you will see the interesting stuff we got going on there with regards to the FDA and NAC. Hi guys, this is CJ and I'm back. We are talking now about NAC and the FDA's new attempt to limit the distribution of this very powerful over-the-counter supplement. NAC has been around for a long time. I'm reading actually from thisisgoodmedicine.com. And it was originally patented as a medication in 1960 and began to be used medically in 1968. Recently, some hubbub surrounding NAC was due to some knucklehead sellers, as they say, claiming it has a hangover cure to it. There's actually reasoning why they're saying that, because it can help detoxify the liver. The FDA did not view this favorably, so NAC has been on the radar. Rumors that it has been banned are false, though. Here's a good article on the current state of NAC and the FDA's scrutiny. Following the uproar, by the way, though, Amazon and also GNC pulled NAC from their menu, and that actually impacted us as well. We have a product called Immune Boost, which is a great product, and it involves and includes a lot of NAC, as well as quercetin, vitamin C, D3, zinc, etc. A great product, but we were very disappointed to see that Amazon pulled our product. And to clarify why this supplement is so important to patient care, I wanted to produce an article and help you understand what it does for the body. Overview: NAC is an essential amino acid, meaning the body cannot make it, so it must be obtained through food or supplementation. I first learned its use in the hospital as a powerful intervention for acetaminophen overdose. NAC is a precursor to cysteine, the amino acid the body has the least amount of, and the one the body tries to hold on to. L-cysteine, derived from NAC, is used in many bodily reactions, but none may be as important as its role in health as replenishing glutathione, or our master oxidant. So when we hear about antioxidants help protect us from the oxidative stress of exercise, of pollution, of just the stresses of life. We have oxidation, and oxidation can damage our cells and speed up the aging process. Antioxidants intercept those, almost like missile interceptors, taking down those oxidants and neutralizing them. It's actually really cool. I remember in college studying advanced nutrition and seeing a really cool pictograph that showed these interceptors going in, these antioxidants, and intercepting these free radicals, which were pro-oxidants, and they were causing damage to the body's cells, and thus enhancing and speeding the aging process. So we want to slow that down. Antioxidants can help with that. And NAC is a powerful tool in that battle. Benefits of NAC: all of the body benefits from less oxidative stress. So NAC is really beneficial for bodily functions, from reproductive health to brain health. The focus today, though, will be on some areas where there's quite a lot of research. NAC as an antioxidant. We tend to think of NAC's benefit and effect on the body as a building block for making the antioxidant glutathione, but NAC is an antioxidant in and of itself. Its job is to clean up damaging free radicals caused by both normal metabolic processes and environmental sources, as I mentioned earlier. NAC in lung health. NAC, especially in its inhaled form, but also in its ingested form, is helpful for chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, COPD, and other respiratory diseases as a mucolytic thinning mucus, that is. NAC also acts as a potent antioxidant in the lung tissues when inhaled or taken orally. And that's what I have been taking myself for quite a few years for my allergies, and I find it to be quite effective at reducing bronchospasm. That's at least for me. One of the reasons it also can be so beneficial is that glutathione is most concentrated in the lungs and in the liver in the body. NAC and detoxification. The liver, being the major organ of detoxification, has one of the highest glutathione concentrations, and NAC helps filter that out. NAC is essential for healthy glutathione levels. Healthy glutathione levels are essential for ridding the body of toxins like pesticides, metals, chemicals like plastics, and additives found in processed foods such as aged foods and dried foods, etc. NAC and immune health. NAC is critical to immune health because it regulates inflammation by decreasing our inflammatory load or oxidative stress by increasing glutathione levels. When the body cannot dampen the oxidative stress, we get an overreactive immune system leading to chronic inflammation, preventing us from fighting off infections. NAC steal. I'm not sure what that means. NAC steal refers to the body's desire to conserve L-cysteine at all costs. As previously mentioned, L-cysteine is the most conserved and least abundant amino acid in the body. It has many roles besides turning into glutathione. To keep the pool of cysteine at optimal levels, the body will convert glutathione back to cysteine. This means that if you are taking glutathione and have cysteine deficiency, you are not getting the benefits of glutathione you had hoped for. This is why it is smart to take NAC or N. I'm not going to read it again. It's technical. It is hard to pronounce. But taking NAC with liposomal glutathione, the most absorbable oral glutathione. NAC is very inexpensive and the best bang for your buck for detoxification. To be sure, you're not breaking down your glutathione. And that's why people are saying it can help with the oxidative stress of drinking alcohol. And so, as a matter of fact, L-cysteine, which is very similar to NAC, has now been prescribed or suggested that it can help rid the body of the toxic effects of drinking alcohol. There was actually a research study done in Japan where people actually took throat lozenges that had L-cysteine in them, and they were able to measure that they could quickly eliminate this toxin, this carcinogenic toxin in the mouth when they took this throat lozenge, and this was directly after drinking an alcoholic beverage. So that is why some companies have tried to sell this as an hangover cure, but also it's good, again, ultimately for ridding the body of the oxidative stress associated with not only exercise, pollution, etc., but also with the carcinogenic impact and effect of drinking too much alcohol. Again, forms of NAC and NAC side effects. Well, I mean, there's very few side effects. You can get nausea, vomiting, mouth ulcers. That's if you take a lot of it. Capsules, these are the most preferred form of NAC, and they're found in supplements. These are relatively inexpensive. Capsules of NAC range from 500 milligrams to 900 milligrams per capsule. I think in the Immune Boost product, we take it 3 times a day, and I think ultimately you end up getting 800 milligrams of NAC, and I take it regularly. It's been great for me for over 10 years. Toxicity studies are mostly done on mice, and toxic levels there should be equivalent to about 20 grams a day, so that's well under. You're looking at 1,000 milligrams is 1 gram. So if you, as long as you stay under 20 grams, you're okay. I mean, I wouldn't experiment with 10 grams either, but these doses are well under that 20 gram toxicity level. Although I've never seen it, some possible side effects are nausea, vomiting, rash, and fever. As with all supplements, too much of a good thing is not a good thing, and that's like anything. You want to have some balance. Let's see here, powder, oral dosing of NAC, oral dosing through supplements in the form of capsules or powder is the easiest way, again, to get this supplement. In summary, the importance of this essential amino acid as a precursor to other amino acids and antioxidants cannot be disputed. NAC is helpful on multiple health levels and functions like detoxification, blood pressure, immune health, fertility, and respiratory health, just to name a few. Taking it orally is inexpensive and a very effective way to increase antioxidant status and help the body with overall health. At this time, it is available as a supplement. It is still available, but not at GNC or Amazon. So, but you might want to stock up a little bit, and you can get it from us, Immune Boost. We have quite a few bottles that has NAC. It has quercetin. Quercetin is also another great enzyme that can that has anti-cancer properties to it. It's been studied with regards to that. It is actually working again as a natural antihistamine. And there was research that showed that apples have a high amount of quercetin in them, not as much as the supplement itself. And these apples, the green ones in particular, tended to be higher than the red ones. And those who ate an apple a day had fewer bronchospasm symptoms. So I found that to be quite interesting. If you taste a green apple, you can taste the sourness to it, and that might be some of the components working, the vitamin C and also the quercetin in higher concentrations in the green apples. But let's go ahead and see what else is being said about NAC with regards to the FDA's oversight. So we have NAC supplements review. Okay, natural products. This is naturalproductsinsider.com. FDA warning letters on NAC cause stir in the supplement sector. The Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center in New York is sponsoring research to determine if a medication known as NAC can help fight COVID-19. Interesting, guys, huh? The research is one of several studies registered on clinicaltrials.gov to explore the potential of NAC in treating or preventing a disease that has ravaged people's health and the global economy. NAC has been approved by FDA to treat liver side effects, etc., and also used to loosen the thick mucus in the lungs of people with cystic fibrosis or chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. According to a summary of the study sponsored by the Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center, the ingredient also happens to be widely marketed as another category of products overseen by the FDA, dietary supplements. But for at least the second time since 2010, the FDA challenged the legality of NAC in a dietary supplement. There is no mention, though, of any risk factors for taking NAC. No bad effects, nothing that they've been experiencing in any noticeable numbers. And so it sounds to me like they're concerned maybe that this is contradicting the message of or of treating your sicknesses, viruses, COVID-19 with vaccines and pharmaceutical agents. And so I'm thinking Big Pharma is probably in on this, guys, probably pressuring them. And since the COVID-19 research is indicating that this could be used potentially as a means to reduce COVID, I think you see right there, you kind of have the smoke that you can pursue. And where there's smoke, often there's fire. Also, it has been shown in research that those who take NAC in a research study have fewer symptoms of influenza. And so this is another study that was done. I found this to be quite remarkable, and another reason why they might not want us to treat our flu and flu-like symptoms on our own. So anyway, that is that. NAC can still be found, but you have to search for it. They may eventually prosecute the distribution of NAC, but they are not doing it yet. Though again, because they're in the back pockets of Amazon and also GNC and a few of the other larger companies, they were able to put pressure on them, causing them to preemptively pull the product from their catalogs. And unfortunately, it affects companies like ours who produces a product with NAC in it. However, we will still distribute through alternative sources, and that can be something. If you guys are interested, let us know and we'll get you some bottles of NAC. Great stuff, especially when people want to stay healthy and be able to fight viruses on their own, strengthening their own immune systems. Whether you've had the vaccine or not, a product like Immune Boost can help you do that, and NAC is a powerful component in the arsenal of weapons we can use to fight sickness. Okay, this has been CJ with the Patriot Nation. We look forward to talking more in our next episode. Take care, guys. God bless. Talk to you next time.